Hi guys, he provides Homestead again, and it is a gorgeous August afternoon, and I'm actually going to make a wooden sign out of these fence railings, I guess. These were given to us, so I don't have any money in them. They've laid outside for a little while, and you can see this is going to be the side I use. They've laid out here, and I've decided it's time to do something with them. The first thing we're going to do is my wonderful, fantastic husband working the camera today is going to, he's going to cut all of our boards for us, and then I will sand them down. At that time, after that's all finished, I'll bring you back and we'll walk through it step by step, and you can see how these ugly boards are mesmerized into a fantastic sign. So we'll bring you right back. Alright, Chico's going to use the saw and saw these boards for me.
Got this saw at an auction.
Okay, he's all done. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we've cut our boards, and for this particular sign, I cut them 20 inches long because the stencil I have is 12 by 12, so that'll give a good distance between the stencil and the ends of the boards. I have my sander, which I love this thing. It's small, compact, easy to use, and because these boards were actually on a fence, used as a fence, I'm going to sand each and every one of them. It takes just a few moments, and they'll be done. So I'll show you what it looks like when you actually do it. Alright, so 2 out of the 4 boards are already done, and you could tell that it was in no time at all. So, but you don't want to watch me sand all these boards. I'm going to finish sanding, put the sign together, and then we'll show you what we've got when we're finished with that, okay? Okay guys, so here is what I have so far with our wooden sign. They look pretty good to be fence rails, don't they? We've cut them, then I sanded them with the sander, and then washed them, scrubbed them really good to get any dust or dirt off of them. On the back, I took 2 boards, nailed them together, well actually screwed them in, so that they're going to stay and they're real tight. What we'll do next, as you can see, so a total of 6 boards here, 16 by 20, and I think I already told you that. What we're going to do now is we've got, I had a friend make stencils for me from her Cricut. Anybody that believes I should have a Cricut needs to let Chico know. I'm trying to talk him into it, but he's just not sold on it yet. As you know, we're very frugal, and it's just something that we don't consider a need right now, but a want. So, I think it looks great. I really like the color of the wood after I sanded it, the colors that come out. What I'll do next is I'm going to lay the stencil on it and use adhesive to keep it down, and then we'll paint over it. I'll show you how that looks after that step is done. And it's just coming right along. I probably have about a total of a half an hour in on this, and some of that time actually is that I couldn't find the electric screwdriver. So if you've got all your stuff together, it won't take very long at all. Alright, so we'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, look what we've got. The stencil from the Cricut. I have taken Elmer's Craft Bond. Got this at an auction in a box, and sprayed it on. It had to sit for 3 to 5 minutes for this to hold, so it is just a temporary bond so that I can actually paint these boards. And I'll lay this down. I've just chosen a light beige. It's between a white and a beige, really. It's an off-white. We're going to paint these boards, and we don't need a whole lot because we want it to look rough. So we'll just... And this won't take long at all because I don't want a lot of color on it. I just want to... And you can use whatever color. You're going to need at least 2 colors. You could use a third if you want, but because we're going to leave the natural wood for this L, then we're only going to need 2 colors. I've got a rag here so that when I think I'm done, I will wipe all the excess off of these boards. And I just want it to look real withered. Kind of like me. And I want to get all the way around this letter really good so that this letter shows up. And then I'll just take a look at it and see where it doesn't have as much as other places, and we are almost done. And this will take hardly any time to dry because the paint is so thin. So I'll let it set for 15-20 minutes, and then we'll go to the next step of this wonderful sign. And I really like it. I like all things that look like the barnwood and the old. So that's it. We're going to stop right there. I will let this set for 15-20 minutes. We'll take this stencil off and you'll be able to see what it looks like underneath it. Okay? Alright guys, so when I pulled off the stencil, I did not like the look of underneath it. And you can see right here, that's what it looked like. There was just too many colors. You couldn't really tell where the L was. It wasn't real defined. So I've went with black, right? When all else fails, you paint it black. So as you can see, I've got my paintbrush out, and I outlined it with a painter's marker so that I would know exactly where the outline was for the L. And now I'm just filling it in with black paint. As you can tell, I'm just using craft paint from the Walmart. And when it's all finished and we've done all the stenciling, then I'll take just a gloss over everything so there's no bleeding, there's no problems with it. So I just wanted to touch base, let you know what we're doing here. We'll let this dry and probably come back to you after a bit. Alright guys, we have brought you back to show the finished product of our fence rail sign. And as you can see, I absolutely love it. I think it turned out very well. It is the finished product, and I hope that my daughter enjoys this. If you have any questions or thoughts about this, you think that you have an easier way to do this, I am more than happy to read your suggestions. You can leave us a message. otherwise, thank you for joining us, and you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Vidme, and YouTube. Godspeed.